Hey, this is Jermaine. I have one question for you. How do you speak to yourself? What do you tell to yourself? See, the most important narrative is the one you're saying to yourself. I have learned with experience that what matters the most is the conversation that you're having with yourself. Want it or not, we all have an internal conversation. What are the things that you're discussing with yourself when you are by yourself? What are the things that you're saying to yourself?
In this video, I share with you 5 simple and practical steps to cultivate a healthier inner dialogue.
So we already know that what matters is not what people say about yourself, but it's what you receive from what they have said, or it's what you decide or you choose to believe about what yourself. However, there's another uh, things that we need to explore. It's the conversation that you have when you are by yourself. What do you talk about with yourself? And what do you say to yourself? Because you are listening. Whatever you're saying to yourself is listening. And it's the most important narrative on earth. When you are walking on the street, when you have done a mistake, how do you react? I work in a call center at the moment, and usually when I am in a conversation with some customers and they will say things like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so dumb, I'm so dumb." You think it's a joke. It's not a joke. They believe that they're dumb. That's what they're saying to themselves. I am consciously choosing every day what I'm saying to myself. I'm consciously choosing the type of conversation that I'm holding with myself. As soon as I realize, as soon as I notice that there must be something, that there must be a toxic narrative that I'm saying to myself, I will stop a moment. Because remember, yourself listen to what you're saying. You have to be very conscious about that. I'm going to say that again because I think it's really important. Whatever you're saying to yourself, remember, yourself listen to what you're saying. So next time that you are speaking to yourself or having a conversation with yourself, remember that you listen, your heart listen, your subconscious mindset listen. So I purposely choose every single day to have a conversation of gratitude with myself. One of the practice I do in the morning is that when I wake up, I stay in bed. I don't necessarily touch my phone or touch anything. And I stay 10 minutes in my bed and I process some thought in my mind. And I usually choose to wake up with a thought or a conversation with myself of gratitude. I look at the things that I have and I am grateful about that. I express my gratitude and I look the journey that I've been every single day. I do that and I thank myself, I encourage myself, and I say to myself, we are doing a good job. So these are few steps that you can start to practice a healthy narrative towards yourself. Step one, be aware of your thought process. Be aware of what you say to yourself. Be conscious of how you speak to yourself. Step two, acknowledge what you say to yourself. And it's okay if you have a bad narrative for now. It's okay. Just acknowledge it. Step three, start to say one positive thing about yourself every day. Start only with one thing. I'm sure there's something that you must be proud about yourself. I'm sure there's one thing that when you look at yourself, you know you have gone through a lot, but you are surviving. And the next step will be to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. I'm sure you have something to be grateful about. The fact that you have wake up in the morning, it's something to be thankful about. The fact that you can breathe, the fact that you can see, you can walk, you are healthy, Even though you do not have those things, there's something that you must have that you are grateful about. So I encourage you to start this journey of gratitude. And it's a practice. It takes some time. It's okay if you fail the first time or if you don't succeed, keep on going. Before long, you will realize that you are able to have a healthy conversation with yourself, a conversation where you appreciate, you lift up yourself. And the last step must be the most difficult step. I went through that step myself, and it was horrible in the beginning. But as much as I learned to practice it, it's become amazing. And I'm starting to be conscious about how amazing I am as a person. And I say to myself, record a video of you, say something to yourself, and then listen to what you're saying to yourself. Because I'm doing this podcast, I I have to do the edit myself, and most of the time I have to listen the whole podcast. And we all know that we don't like to listen to ourselves. We don't like to listen to our voice. We just like, it's so terrible. But one thing I have acknowledged this past week since I have started is that the more I am listening to myself, the more I appreciate the things that I used not to appreciate. I appreciate my voice. I appreciate my tone. I appreciate my skin. I appreciate my smile. I am appreciating myself. And when I'm looking in myself and I say those things back to myself, I said, "You're wonderful, Jermaine. You are doing a great job." And one sentence that I love, and I'm always saying to myself, every time that I encounter difficulties or when I have a doubt, I always say to myself, "You're going to make it." The more you say it to yourself, remember, you believe what you say to yourself. And what you say to yourself is the most important thing in the world. Even if God say it to yourself, if you don't believe it for yourself, okay, there's nothing that's going to change or that will not have a great impact. When I encounter difficulties, I say to myself, "It's okay, Jermaine, you're going to make it." Always repeat it to myself, "You're going to make it." Sometimes I lay in my bed and I have a thought, a process, even when I'm walking, I keep on saying, "You're going to make it, you're going to make it, you're going to make it." It's a narrative that I'm saying to myself again and again, again and again. You are going to make it. And the more you say it to yourself, you start to believe it. And I believe it and I know it. I am going to make it. So now you have basic steps to start to cultivate a healthy conversation with yourself. Remember again, the most important narrative is what you are saying to yourself. What matters the most is how you speak to yourself, what you say to yourself. What other people say doesn't matter. It's what you say to yourself that matters. Keep on practicing this simple step, and before long, you will be a master in having healthy conversation towards yourself, by yourself, and with yourself. It's one step at a time, and remember, you are not alone in this journey. We are all walking in this healing journey, one step at a time. I hope this was helpful for you. Follow me for more and stay tuned. This was Jermaine. Cheers.